Today, a day that we're honoring Chuck on his birthday. So thank you all for being here. He made a big impact in Albuquerque, and we're just happy to celebrate his birthday today with you all. But we're going to kick things off with Parks and Recreation Director Dave Simon.
Great, thank you, Emily. Good morning, everyone. I want to welcome you to the OG Esperanza Bicycle Safety Education Center, the original. I want to just again add my thanks to all of Chuck's family, friends, co-workers, colleagues, fellow riders, who've come out today. It is a bittersweet day. I think we need to just, acknowledge it. It's a bittersweet moment for us, not only because the fact that we lost Chuck in such an untimely way, but we've lost 3 members of the Esperanza family to tragic accidents over the last 2 years. In fact, today was the 2nd anniversary of losing Rosanna Bruninger, who was an employee of the Esperanza Center, and just a week ago, a young life, a beautiful bright light, Kayla Van Landingham, lost her life in a tragic accident. So this is tough, right? And we'll process, the grief over losing Kayla so recently in time. I think it does take time. But today really is about Chuck. And I think Chuck really would have wanted this event to go forward. He would have probably preferred he not be the center of the event. But he would have wanted this event to go forward. And on his birthday, I think we felt, as his colleagues, that it was a fitting time to do it. So again, thank you all for coming. You are going to hear today from our mayor, also from Chuck's family, and from County Commissioner Barbara Baca, who had a role in this whole thing too. So again, thank you for coming. Without further ado, our mayor, Tim Keller.
Well, thank you, Dave, and happy birthday, Chuck. As he mentioned, this is about his legacy in his life. And I feel like even just being here, it's like he's with us. And I think for the people who work here each and every day, they also feel that. And I want to just reflect for a moment a little bit on what this is all about. But let me also just acknowledge, this, as I understand it, the beginning of this, of course, was Chuck. But part of that was now Commissioner Barbara Baca, who's going to speak in a little bit, back when she was at the city. And then Counselor Diane Gibson is the one who introduced me to Chuck and to the program, actually, when I was running for this job. She gave me some advice, and she's here, by the way. Diane, thank you for being here. She was here. I'm sure she's here somewhere. Diane, we should give her just a little bit of a round of applause. She carried this. So one of the occasions where I was able to chat a little bit with Chuck was around everything we were doing around the Boys Club. I still call it the Boys Club, but his legacy, right, is with us in so many ways. It's these spaces that bring community together and that help kids. It's also out on the trail that we're going to rename for him, that he rode almost every day. And it's also carried on in sort of an amazing ripple effect now up in the Heights also. And I think in an interesting way, there's a flavor of Esperanza in a different city department that is about lowrider bikes. And it's actually sort of a felon mentorship program with teens, just right across at the old Westgate. That was also inspired by Esperanza and indirectly by Chuck. And so he continues to essentially find new ways to help kids in our community and help bring us together. And for that, we are also grateful. And I think fundamentally too, the name of this, even if it's the street name outside, of course, Esperanza means hope. And I think that's what he brings to each individual who comes in here. And sometimes it's not just the kid, it's actually the city worker who may be having their own tough times, and provides that hope and that meaning that we all want, whether we're a teenager or whether we're in middle school or whether we're an adult just working at the city. or we're a biker biking around the city. And we see the great things and we see the challenges and we see the opportunities also for despair and the tragedies. That is also part of Chuck's legacy. But he helps us also find that hope that we're going to make each other better, and that also we believe in our city. He very much believed in our city like no other. And so we're grateful for all that he leaves and still has with us today. And so I think Dave's going to walk through the different ways that we're excited to honor his legacy. And we have these proclamations here. You see the sign in front that we're going to be putting on the bike trail. And we're going to have a few plaques that sort of tell Chuck's story. And so we want to make sure that the hope that he has given us, in this case, for most of us personally, but that continues, and we also remember his personal story long after we've all transitioned ourselves. So thank you all so much for being here, and happy birthday, Chuck.
We're very fortunate to have Chuck's family here, and his daughter Angelina, I think, would like to say a few words. Accompanied by her mom, Sako.
So my mom did tell me I should talk, and I did not prepare anything, so let's see how this goes for a minute. I was actually kind of thinking about, oh, thank you, a little shorter. On the way here, thinking about Esperanza and how much it did mean to my dad, how proud he was to be here. And over the years, I've moved out of the house, and I've gotten a big girl job, and I've been living in the city, and I live in California now, and I laugh because New Mexico for my dad was the biggest city he would ever move to. My mom, being from Tokyo, was the smallest city that she would ever move to. And I followed my dad's footsteps where they met in California, and the big city vibes sometimes make me lose hope, and I've gotten a little cynical over the years. And coming back to see my dad, where, kind of speaking to that idea of Esperanza and hope, my dad truly had hope. You could see it in his smile. Everyone says, his smile, his smile, his smile. God, you could see the hope in his smile, that he was going to make a difference, and he did. And the hope that one individual can leave such a legacy is beautiful to me, and it brings me hope again, that each and every one of us here, we may not see ourselves as making as much of an impact as we did, but I know almost all of your names. He told me your stories coming home, and yes, having hope brings this community together, and I'm very thankful for the city to continue to help support my dad and make his legacy beautiful. And in the same way, not to make this sad because it is his birthday, but as much as one individual can bring so much, another individual chose to bring so much pain, and it was just one person. But they changed the hopes of kids to ever receive a free bike from my dad again, to learn to have equality on the streets, to access independence when they don't have a car, because not all of us, we know the poverty in New Mexico, not all of us can afford a car, and having the access to safe walkways allows kids to, become mature, responsible adults and realize who they are and continue to love their community. A lot of people stay in New Mexico, and I think that's beautiful. I hope we continue this strong New Mexican legacy, and I hope that each of us carry on the hope that this center brings and the belief that one individual, can really change things. So thank you all for being here on my dad's birthday.
Thank you, Asako and Angelina. Through the course of her 3-decade career in Parks and Recreation, Barbara Baca also has left an immense legacy of achievement in our community around the Southwest, and she continues that work as Bernalillo County Commissioner, and she and Chuck were a formidable team.
Hello, everyone, and Angelina and Hisako, my heart is with you. I wanted to tell a very brief story. The first time I walked into this building, I was probably 4 years old, and it was a community library, Esperanza Library. And you know how important books are and teaching is to our youth. That is the future of our community. Fast forward many, many years. In 2010, I became the Parks and Recreation Director. I had worked with Chuck before, but he and I came to this site and said, let's do this thing. Let's preserve this beautiful opportunity. It's truly, actually, Mayor, a community revitalization at the same time that it's an education center, because there was illicit activity around here, crime, all of those kinds of things, and we saw the opportunity working with Richard Rivas when he was getting bikes donated in the back room back there and donating those bikes back out to the community. But the idea of teaching kids how to build a bike has so much glory in it than just giving the kid a bike. Because Angelina, you're talking about experiential education now, hands-on, learning those values of build and pride of building something, as well as the bicycle education safety that we provided here. So this is actually, although it's a bittersweet, as Director Simon said, this is a beautiful day because Esperanza means hope, and Chuck Malagodi's legacy is hope for our community. So thank you for having me here, and let's continue this hopeful journey of educating people and those in vehicles to drive safely, to pay attention, to continue this beautiful idea in Albuquerque of a bike-friendly community. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Commissioner, and thank you, City Councilor Gibson. You know, the McKinley Esperanza location is off to a great start, and you know, I hope that that's not the end of the ride for McKinley, for Esperanza either. There's other areas in our city that need and would benefit tremendously from this program, so we're going to keep pedaling. And we got a lot of things going on here, so we'll just quickly explain, and then we'll do it. So first of all, I think all of you probably saw the banner outside when you came into the Chuck Malagodi Bicycle Safety Education Center. Now, that's a lot. There's a lot of words there, but you know, I think every one of them is important. And that banner is going to be replaced with a little sort of artful adjustment to the metal sign on the facade of the building. So just hang on, but that'll be the permanent renaming of the OG Esperanza. Now, we also have a couple other things here. One, we have the Mayor's Proclamation recognizing Chuck Malagodi Day from January. We also have a proclamation in the shadow box from the governor. And then those two items, along with a little something the mayor's holding there, are all going to be put up here at the entryway in the foyer of the Malagodi Esperanza Bicycle Safety Education Center. So that's what you'll see when you come into the building starting later today. And then last but not least, as the mayor alluded, we are renaming a section of the North Diversion Channel Trail. It's this trail that's sort of a spine, north-south spine through the middle of the city along the North Diversion Channel. Many of you ride it. Chuck rode that trail to work pretty much every day. And so we thought it would also be fitting to take a section of that trail and recognize him there. So this is an example of the sign that will frame the section of trail. It's a little bit south of the Balloon Fiesta Park. And you can see we've included a QR code on this sign so that anyone who wants to learn more about Chuck's legacy and more about the history of Esperanza and these things, they can get that in real time, and we can keep that alive and growing through the use of the web link. So all these things are going to be in place here this week, and without further ado, I want to ask the mayor if he would be good enough just to unveil
I'll hold it.
The-
you unveil it.
the plaque, which as you can see is covered nicely by a beautiful Esperanza t-shirt. And this plaque in memoriam for Chuck's great legacy will be the centerpiece of the foyer. So why don't we just say 3, 2, 1, here's to Chuck. Again, thank you all for coming and for all that you do for this program, and as the commissioner said, to make our community a safe, bicycle-free, bicycle-friendly community. And let's, as I said, let's just all keep pedaling.